Laos, a country of 5 million people, situated in the heart of the Greater Mekong sub-region, needs foreign investment to develop export industries in order to earn much-needed revenue. Currently, the average GDP per capita is as low as $300, with only two main growth options: hydropower and tropical timbers. For more than 30 years, Laos has been steadily exporting electricity to its neighbor, Thailand. The two countries have signed an agreement providing for the purchase of 3,000 megawatts from Laos by the year 2008.
Consomme sur l'ensemble du pays 200 mégawatts. Donc il est absolument obligatoire de trouver un marché à l'exportation, et le marché le plus naturel, le plus solvable, le plus crédible aujourd'hui, c'est la Thaïlande.
NTH2, a key project in this overall agreement, is situated 250 kilometers east of Vientiane, in central Kham Muan province. The Build, Operate, Transfer venture is an example of how the Lao government is developing with the private sector what will be a very beneficial and environmentally and socially sustainable project.
So we need to develop, but we see that development and environment should go together. And mostly in the case of hydropower in our country, without hydropower, I would think that the environment would be degraded more and more, as I said earlier, because we have no means to do it.
A low dam on the NTH2 River, a tributary of the Mekong, is to create a reservoir on the Nakai Plateau. Water from this reservoir will be diverted into a tunnel and turbined at the bottom of a natural escarpment 350 meters high. This water will then be released into the Zai Bang Thai, another tributary of the Mekong, through a dedicated 25-kilometer-long channel. The flow made available will greatly enhance dry season irrigation of the fertile downstream plains. Total project investment cost is about $1 billion. 920 megawatts will be available for intermediate peaking delivery to Thailand, and up to 75 megawatts for local Lao needs. Electricity sales will reach $240 million per year, and the Lao share of the net revenues from the project will amount to half the total over the 25-year concession, with only 25% equity shareholding, thanks to dividends, tax, and royalties received. The reservoir on the Nakai Plateau will cover some 450 square kilometers when full. The area to be flooded has been severely degraded over the last decades as a result of traditional slash-and-burn cultivation practices for several generations, commercial logging, and heavy bombing of the plateau during the Vietnam War. With its poor sandy clay soils, sparse pine tree cover, and depleted resources, the area is of limited remaining environmental value and can no longer sustain the life of its growing human population. The creation of the reservoir will require the resettlement of 880 families from 22 very poor village community groups. The average village move will only be about 2 kilometers from their current location, and still within the same traditional, ancestral, spiritual boundaries. The developers are committed to ensuring that each of the families will be quickly and significantly better off after resettlement. Demonstration farms and pilot houses have been established by the project since 1996 to train and inform the affected population of their improved livelihood opportunities. With an overall resettlement budget of over $30 million, NTH2 is clearly setting new international standards in this field.
Je suis mes enfants partout où ils vont et je n'ai pas peur de changer d'endroit. On nous dit de toute façon qu'on sera relogé, alors pourquoi ne pas essayer?
The project will further innovate in contributing $1 million per year over 30 years towards the protection of the upper catchment area, covering 3,500 square kilometers of pristine primary forest, recognized to be one of outstanding global significance in terms of biodiversity. The project does not have a direct impact on this area, and none of the people living there need to be resettled. It is, however, under serious threat from internal and external pressures, illegal hunting in particular, and experts widely agree that a long-term, world-class conservation management plan needs to be implemented urgently.
NTH is arguably the most important protected area in Laos and possibly in the region for two reasons. It has a mix of unique habitats found almost nowhere else, and as a consequence, a complement of wildlife, very rare wildlife found almost nowhere else. So you have this crucible, this incredible crucible of very rare and little-known species centered right on the Nakainan Peninsula and found almost nowhere else in the world. So it's extraordinarily important.
The World Bank has been supporting this initiative after it first became associated with NTH2 through the funding of a feasibility study in 1990. Since then, the bank has dedicated substantial resources to assess providing a partial risk guarantee for part of the project's commercial loans. In addition, the bank may help support the execution of the planned social and environmental programs in the overall project area by extending soft loans to the Lao government. The investors, led by Électricité de France, are developing the project with a view to not only fully meeting, but also going beyond the World Bank's high standards. State-of-the-art social, environmental, and economic studies have been carried out in broad partnerships involving the bank, the Lao government, private sector developers, local community groups, and international NGOs. All studies conducted have publicly addressed many questions about the project, and the study teams have consulted widely with all stakeholders. Indeed, NTH2 breaks new ground in ensuring broad community involvement at all stages, in both design and implementation. Over the past few years, this unprecedented and ongoing public consultation and participation process has resulted in more than 240 consultations and public meetings, involving over 5,000 people. These consultations have covered the affected population in the project area as a priority, and also given a voice to all people in Laos and the international community wishing to participate through the open workshops. Moreover, 3 internationally recognized and totally independent expert panels have been monitoring all aspects of the entire project development, further guaranteeing the full transparency of the whole process. As for the latest developments in the project, a tariff memorandum was officially signed in May 2000 in the presence of the Lao and Thai Prime Ministers, paving the way for a construction start in mid-2002 and a commissioning of the main units over the year 2006. Years of thorough analysis have shown that NTH2 is a truly exceptional and innovative project. Its large and steady revenue flow will contribute at least an additional 3.2% to the Lao GDP, directly assisting sustainable economic development and establishing a strong basis for major poverty alleviation programs throughout the country.